Hello guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Welcome to day 13 of the self-control series, and today we're going to be reflecting upon 1 Corinthians 9 verse 24 to 25 when it says, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it." Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable one. 1 Corinthians was written by Paul over to the church at Corinth. They were dealing with a lot of internal conflicts, so in this letter, Paul is very precise when it comes to dealing with a wide variety of sins and basically how to be Christians as a whole. And here Paul is comparing our lives with God as a run. Paul is telling us to run towards God because we as Christians have an imperishable wreath. In other words, an eternal gift that is being with God for eternity. We are being told to run towards God and not to the world. Because the reality is that in the world there's good things, but if you focus on the world, you just get temporary happiness, temporary pleasures, and they won't last long. You won't take those with you in eternity. So Paul is telling us to go towards God, who will give us that eternal gift. Now what does this say about self-control, folks? Well, since Paul is telling us to run, he also uses the example of an athlete. And it says that the athlete exercises self-control in all they do. In other words, they exercise discipline. Athletes need to be highly disciplined in order to achieve their goals, whether they're runners, they're gymnasts, whatever. Athletes need a lot of mental control, mental discipline, so that they don't give up towards their goal. And of course, since they're athletes, they need a lot of physical control and physical discipline. Paul is telling us to be like those athletes. Paul is telling us to have that mental control over our lives so that we don't give up on our walk with God, so that we do the things that we need to do on a daily basis. And this applies to everything. It applies to God, applies to studies, applies to working out, it applies to a lot of things. So now how do we apply this? Pretty self-explanatory. That is to practice self-control, to practice discipline. There's a lot of things in life that we need, but we don't want to do. But life isn't always about wants. And in those times where we don't want to do something, but we need it, that is where we need to practice discipline. Sometimes reading the Word, reading the Bible, praying requires discipline. Being very honest, there are days where I wake up and I don't want to read the Word, but I do it, and I don't regret it. Because let me tell you that the days when I don't read the Word are days where I don't feel sure of myself, honestly. Because since I didn't draw near to God, I don't feel His presence as much. Even though He's there, I just don't feel Him as much because I didn't come to Him that morning, that day. Discipline, self-control is very important. Mental and emotional discipline is one of the key things in our lives. So we need to practice it. Hope that this spoke to you, because I know that discipline is a very important thing that a lot of us tend to lack. Spend time with God reflecting on how you need discipline, what you can do to practice it. And see you on the next one. God bless you. Bye.